Okay, so check this out. I wrote this article or document about getting pi to infinity, and then by using I was actually able to animate the idea using the exact transcript of the words that I wrote. So here is what my written word translates to, and you will be able to see a sphere forming, and based upon where you're looking, the sphere basically can be going in any direction, ultimately concluding that there is a curve in every single direction from this point, in which ultimately it can be perceived of as being on a curve itself. So here we go. So I wrote something kind of interesting that has to do with my writing a random number sequence where I was calculating pi the other day. And you will see that the illusion should fill in the gaps of the implication of pi being infinite, so that the random number series can actually be accommodated in the conversation. Is getting pi to infinity better done by drawing a bigger circle, or to close the circle to a point? If the better the point, the more sphere-like it becomes. Or by drawing a bigger circle, is it less dimensional, where infinity is the greatest dimension? To this length, I will say that the bigger the circle, the less apparent a point, and the more we close the circle to a point, the greater the dimension with less area to calculate pi. So are we getting pi to infinity if this is the case? If the infinite nature of pi rests in dimension, then could this be perceived as a point moving on a sphere? Where if we take a point, which is to say the greatest dimension, and begin moving it on the least dimension to calculate pi, we are then using the two factors simultaneously to get pi to a notion of infinity. If the point travels at a curve that the speed is perceptible, the circle is closed and becomes more a point, which furthers us from calculating the infinite nature of pi. If there is no speed, we will say that the point is not traveling in a circle. Then, if I imagine a point on an xy axis that is moving along the y-axis and plotting a line across the x-axis to create a sphere, and this sphere is rolling by the plot, creating a shade difference as it plots, watching this point more up and down the y-axis that seems to be stretched around the sphere on the x-axis as it plots, then as long as all these factors are moving, it should give allowance for the conversation that as long as a sphere can roll, it is on a curved plane. And since this is a graph on a point of the sphere we are perceiving by a point that we watch move, we should not have to draw the line or show the sphere move other than its plot that gives shade to create rolling action. It should roll without us seeing a surface. And can we say that a sphere that rolls forever is on a curve? Even without its perception, where then its infinite nature is in the allowance to talk about a plane that doesn't exist. So I kind of drew out just a little basic. Okay, now watch this. When the speed actually becomes apparent.
something is going to happen. Can you see it now? We're moving in the other direction. Now we're really moving in the other direction. Anyways, I told you guys I wasn't just making stuff up. And people just said that I was crazy for thinking that writing about certain things like this was a waste of time and didn't mean anything, and I was making stuff up. I told you guys you can look at my stuff over the last 10 years and plug it into AI if you don't understand it and say, simplify this for me. But anyways, this should be able to tunnel in any direction and create a rolling action in any direction based upon your perception of it. And by your adjustment of these mechanics, which create the illusion that I spoke of. Now it really looks like it's rolling. Thank you guys for not entirely listening to me and just coming to conclusions about what it was that I was saying. And I have examples of this for many things. But anyways, thanks for watching.